Andrew Tucker, and welcome to Andrew Tucker World. What's going on, all my great people? What's going on, all my boxing fans? I come across an article, shout out to Boxing News 24, you know what I mean? One of my sources, you know what I mean? One of my sources. I come across the article. The article is saying that Anthony Joshua stops Oleksandr Usyk within 6 rounds, says Eddie Hearn. Now, I've been hearing that, Anthony Joshua could be working with, you know, legendary trainer Robert Garcia. I mean, that's a good trainer to work with. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Robert Garcia has worked with some of the best fighters in the world. He's a legendary trainer. Um, and I think that Anthony Joshua, if you ask me, I think that Anthony Joshua having the right trainer is good. You know, I don't know I don't know what's the situation regarding. I don't know if he still had our great friend, me, the J. Roos Theory, a lot of other great boxing channels. You know what I mean? Great friends, great friends with Coach James Ali Bashir. You know what I mean? I was introduced to Coach James. I've been following him for a long time, but I was introduced to Coach James. We got some interviews on the channel, exclusive interviews with Coach James Ali Bashir, with me and my co-host, the J. Roos Theory. Shout out to the J. Roos Theory and his backup channel, the NWJ, one of the generals of the UK Tucker Army. Much love and respect to J. Roos, the J. Roos Theory. But we've been hoping and thinking that that James Ali Bashir be the trainer for Joshua, because if anybody knows Usyk, and I know a fighter can get better, can make the necessary adjustments. A fighter could get better, and with the help of a great trainer. Sometimes a fighter already had the skills, had the boxing abilities to do certain things, had the techniques, had the fundamentals. But it takes the right trainer to bring it out of him, to bring the best out of the fighter, to perfect him, to keep him sharp, to and then maybe add something that he didn't have before, to his, add something to his arsenal, to add something, add something to his game, add something to his game to further further perfect his craft. You know what I mean? So Anthony Joshua is the elite level fighter. For the boxing fans that's saying that Joshua is overrated, always been a hype job. They don't know anything about boxing, anything about boxing, anything about boxing. And I don't listen to those type of people at all. I don't listen to people that says that Olympian, right? Olympian is not a skilled fighter. Joshua learning on the job, fighting tough challenge after tough challenge after tough challenge, tough opposition after tough opposition after tough opposition, tough challenger after tough challenger after tough challenger, becoming a two-time unified heavyweight champion, was an Olympian, right? I don't see that as a fighter that's overrated. I don't see that as a bum. I don't even like to use. I don't even use those words. Bum, cab driver, a hype job. I don't use those words. There may be fighters better than others. There may be elite level fighters. They may be good fighters. They may be great fighters. They may be excellent fighters. I don't even like to grade the fighters, but I have love and respect for every gladiator, every warrior that step in the ring and put his life on the line for our entertainment, to entertain us. Of course, they get paid. They have to feed their families. They have to survive. They have to live just like we have to live and survive. We need the money to 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 do those things, to provide for our family, to feed our family, to have transportation, to have a home, to have a place to live. They're prize fighters, so of course they need to be rewarded. Of course they need to be rewarded for entertaining us. Some of you guys don't know anything about boxing. I like that. I remember the words of Roger Mayweather. You don't know shit about boxing. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about boxing. If you gonna sit up there and fix your mouth and say that Anthony Joshua is overrated, you don't know anything about boxing. You know what I mean? At all. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua proved and showed you guys that he is a good fighter. You know, and still and always learning on the job. You know, he lost to Andrew Ruiz Jr. He suffered his first defeat against a very dangerous boxer puncher in Andrew Ruiz Jr. You know, but he was able to bounce back, go back to the drawing board, came with a better game plan, and defeat Andrew Ruiz Jr. You know, he lost to another great fighter. His second defeat was against one of the best fighters in the world. A lot of amateur bouts, two-time Olympic gold medalist, I believe, and Oleksandr Usyk. Had so many amateur bouts, seen so many different styles. You know, former undisputed cruiserweight champion, now heavyweight unified heavyweight champion, two division world champion Oleksandr Usyk. You know what I'm saying? Joshua is only willing. He's only willing to fight the best. No tune up, no none of that. He's only willing to fight the best, and I give him credit. You know, and the thing is this. Eddie Hearn Eddie Hearn feels that Joshua can stop Usyk within 6 rounds. I think he has the power. I think he has the skills. And I think just showing no respect. You know, you show love and respect. I know they have respect for each other and they have love for each other, but that's after the fight. Go in the ring, don't have no respect for his power or skills or anything. Cut off the ring, walk him down, throw those mean combinations. Be smart at mixing up his attack. Be smart at with his punch placement. Joshua, to me, with the right game plan, with the right mentality, 100% mentally and physically, even 70% mentally and physically prepared, he can beat any heavyweight in the heavyweight division. I strongly believe that. Just like maybe the other heavyweights may can beat him, having the right game plan, being in great shape. You know, because there are a lot of great fighters in the heavyweight division. You know, Gerald Anderson, you know, Frank Sanchez, Joseph Parker, you know, Joe Joyce, Andrew Ruiz Jr., Louis King Kong Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, you know what I mean, Philip Herkovich, you know, Daniel Dubois, you know, it's a lot of Effie Ajaba. It's a lot of dangerous and also skilled heavyweights in the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury is the top guy, number one guy. Tyson Fury is a great fighter. You know, Tyson Fury at his best, mentally and physically prepared. The ring IQ, the ring generalship, so fundamentally sound, can beat Anthony Joshua. Just like I believe Anthony Joshua, with the right game plan, can get in there and make it a very challenging and competitive fight with him and Tyson Fury. And I believe Joshua also has what it takes to beat Fury. Style make fights, and I can analyze the fight. I can break it down so many ways on how Joshua wins, how Fury wins. I see it with Usyk and Joshua. I see a few ways Usyk beats Joshua again. Just like I see a few ways Joshua wins the rematch. But a different monster, a different killer is stepping back in the ring for this rematch. And it's going to be he's not going to show no respect, you know, when he steps in that ring. He downloaded the information. Usyk will be, I believe, could be slightly better than he was the last fight. And I know Joshua is going to be better than he was the last fight. And I scored that fight 7 rounds to 5. 7 rounds to 5. Some people may have had it 8 rounds to 4 for Oleksandr Usyk, but I had it 7 rounds to 5. It was closer than a lot of you guys thought. It was closer than a lot of you guys thought. I don't listen to the biased commentary, and not no disrespect to the commentators, but I don't listen to the commentary to those who was there at the actual fight commentating. I do my own commentary. I look at every punch that's accurate, every punch that's effective, every punch that was blocked, every punch that was blocked, every punch that's blocked, avoided, every punch each fighter made each other miss. Punches blocked, punches avoided, punches that were slipped, whatever. You know what I mean? I look at punches that are accurate, that are effective, and punches that didn't land, that was blocked, avoided. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's what I do as a commentator. I commentate the fight, but I know what I'm looking at the same time, having a boxing eye. At one point in time in my life as a teenager, being a student in the game as an amateur boxer, but not just that, is also watching and watching the sport of boxing for 30, maybe a little over 30 years. So I know what I'm watching. I know what I see with my boxing eye. With my boxing eye, I know what I see. From a boxing eye, I know what I'm looking at, and I know what I'm seeing in that ring. And I do film study. I analyze. I look at the strengths and weaknesses. I look at what they do great, what they don't do so well, what they need to work on. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things. I look at a lot of things, and I pretty much analyze, and I take away from what a fighter does and what he's good at, what he's great at, what he's not so good at, what he needs to work on. I take away, I analyze, and I look at everything. You know what I mean? But one thing I do know is that both of these fighters are fundamentally sound. Both of these fighters are great fighters. Oleksandr Usyk, on the front line, fighting, defending his country. Respect to this warrior, respect to that gladiator. Anthony Joshua, a warrior. Most definitely giving back to the kids that be in and out of his boxing gym. He has a boxing gym working with kids and working with young teenagers and kids, and creating the opportunity for them to become great fighters, and be a part of the sport, and maybe and go on to be great just like himself. And also giving back. Anthony Joshua is also that leader and that role model. Same as Usyk. So it's going to be a great fight. I don't even have to read this article. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that Usyk can win again. But I feel this time Joshua will beat him. And I believe Joshua will be the first fighter to stop Oleksandr Usyk. I got love and respect. I got love and respect for both fighters, for both warriors, for both gladiators. I got love and respect. It is a 50-50 fight, but I believe this time you guys haven't seen the best of Joshua. He learns on the job. Usyk is a very smart, thinking man fighter. It's difficult to deal with his style. I can see pretty much almost every top heavyweight having problems with Usyk. Joshua was a top heavyweight that had a problem with his style. but Joshua is also a smart thinking man fighter as well, and they can make the necessary adjustments. And I don't think you have seen the best of Joshua. It's going to be a close and competitive fight, but Joshua, I believe, will end this fight and not with a technical knockout or knockout. I believe he will stop Usyk this time. I could be wrong, and a lot of you guys that's picking Usyk to win the fight could be right. But I feel that Joshua is going to win the fight this time. I believe that Joshua is going to stop Oleksandr Usyk. And you guys are not going to see it coming because you guys, I don't know, I know you guys were just so focused on seeing Joshua lose again and just gave up hope when it comes to this fighter. I'm not a fanboy. I got respect and have love and respect for both fighters. But at the end of the day, it's some things that I see that you guys it's some things that I see and some things I feel and I see. I visualize and it comes to me, when it comes to fighters and when it comes to a certain fight. And all I know is that Joshua will be victorious. He will win by technical knockout over Oleksandr Usyk. And you guys are not going to see it coming. You guys are going to doubt Joshua and say that he's never been a great fighter. He's never been this. He's never been that. He's been a hype job. He's nothing but a bodybuilder. He's nothing but a big bodybuilder that's so robotic and things of that nature. And you guys can't even recognize the fundamentals that this guy the fundamentals that this guy possesses. You guys can't even recognize the techniques. You guys can't even recognize the skills because you guys don't know boxing. I'm sorry to tell you guys, no disrespect to you guys, but you guys don't know boxing. If you're saying that Joshua is not a skilled fighter, then you don't know boxing. If you're saying that Oleksandr Usyk is not a skilled fighter and that he's overrated, then you don't know boxing. If you're saying certain fighters just because they lose to a fighter, just because a fighter was able to upset them, like I say, style make fights. Sometimes it could be an opponent that's not a big name opponent can step in that ring and defeat the favorite, defeat the big name fighter. So sometimes it could just be because that fighter had the right game plan. And maybe it's because that fighter that is the big name fighter was the favorite going into the fight, just basically didn't have the game plan to pretty much stop the style, or didn't have the right game plan on that night to overcome the game plan that the fighter that you don't barely know came in with. So anyways, though, I feel that Joshua working with Robert Garcia, I think that's a good trainer to work with, honestly. You got a lot of great trainers, and Robert Garcia is a great trainer. I don't know if that is finalized that he is working with Robert Garcia. That's just basically what I'm hearing. I'm going to find out. And hopefully we will know soon, because it'll be officially announced that he's working with Robert Garcia. I see other great channels making videos and things of that nature, but we're going to see. But all I do know is that Joshua will be victorious. I believe the date. Hopefully the date is secured and it will be July the 23rd. But we're going to see. And I most definitely feel that Joshua is going to win by technical knockout. I agree with Eddie Hearn. I don't see it within 6 rounds. Maybe like the 9th, maybe the 8th and the 9th, and maybe the 10th round he gets the technical knockout. A different monster and a different beast is showing up. Oleksandr Usyk is gonna come and he's gonna show up. He's gonna win rounds. It's gonna be a great battle between Joshua and Usyk. But I got Joshua winning. Andrew Tucker World, I'm out. Much love and respect.